It's Michael J. Fox. It's 9:25. It's Motormouth.
Good morning. Welcome. Michael J. Fox endorses the programme. You're watching it, as are millions of people throughout the nation. It's live on your telly, Saturday morning, 9:25, and you're watching Motormouth. And because it was his birthday yesterday, Neil Buchanan has let me sit in his chair. Which is very kind of him, and he's bearing well for 47, I would have thought. Anyway, on with this. When nights of days of old, when nights were bold and chivalry was reigning, of a damsel in distress, if you wanted to find one, you could look no further than Miss Gabby Rosslyn.
Oh, and you are my knight in shining armour, Andy. Oh, now, if you wonder why Jeffrey is slowly rising up the seesaw, that's because Mike, the other end, is loading this with armour. Mike will, in fact, be putting on the armour. Good morning, Mike, and the helmet as well. And talking of hard hats, Steve Johnson?
I've got an hard head. Hey up, Neil. Look, I'll tell you what we've got coming on, I tell you. We've got some of the England rugby team, so it's going to be a very exciting show. But I'm going to show you what it's like to do rugby, because I've been practising. So, Neil, hold that ball, won't you?
Yeah, I'll hold it.
You won't move it just because it's your birthday or anything. You won't do anything because it's your birthday, will you?
I promise you I won't move it.
All right. You won't, will you?
Look, just get on with it. We've got a programme to do. I promise you I will not move the ball.
Cheers, pal. Right.
Rugby's a tough game, Steve. I heard. A little later on Motormouth, I'll be talking to Chris Packham and Terry Nuckins for the first time together on Children's ITV, and they're joined by Fungus the Bogeyman.
Yeah. OK, Fungus, if you'd just like to sign the guest book.
Whoa, no, why?
Oh, well, leave a slime print.
OK.
Brilliant.
Oh, what's down here? A rubbish
Oh, no,
bin.
leave that alone.
Oh.
Sorry about this.
Lovely.
Max, you are 15 minutes late.
Don't start on me, Juliet. I've got a slow puncture. I've had to walk half the way.
I'm not interested in your mode of transport, Max. Have you got the props?
Yes, here are the props.
Oh, Max!
What?
Won them at the fair, Terry. They're called Moby and Toby. Moby after the whale and Toby because it rhymes with Moby. They tried to palm me off with this great big, fat, ugly green thing, which I just thought
Millie,
was ridiculous.
You met Fungus.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Fungus.
You didn't tell me it was rugby
Well,
football.
you weren't listening, were you, Max? This won't do. It's the wrong shape.
Look, it works just the same. Hup.
Oh, well, that says maybe, Max. But go down to the shop and change it, please.
Look,
and
I
will
can't.
you stop dribbling? Oh, hello. You must be the cyclist. I'll just get the door for you.
OK, gentlemen, if you'd just like to follow me, I'll show you to your dressing room. This way. Come on, Fungus. Brilliant.
Come through, clear the way, everybody. Clear the way, cyclists,
look
coming
out.
through. OK, well done. Incredible Scandinavian sense of direction. Oh.
Mr. Moore, if you'd just like to come with me.
Bye.
I'll see you later.
OK. Bye.
Oh, Juliet.
Millie, goldfish.
Yes.
Oh, Millie, they're absolutely lovely. Yes. Oh, look. Oh, look, they're kissing. Isn't that romantic?
Juliet, just think, if you had two goldfish, you could call them Moore and Nichols.
Yeah. Millie, I've told you once, I've told you 100 times, take these fish home. They're not allowed in the studio.
All right, well, if you think you can cope without me.
Of course we can. I mean, everybody's here, aren't they? All the guests, Chris, Fungus, the cyclist, the rugby players. Danny isn't due for a moment, so who else could arrive?
I'll get it.
We'll get it.
Yes, your dressing room's just through here. It's 5B. I'm sorry it's such a squeeze up there.
Hey, Paul, it's all the rugby people here.
Yeah, the team's just gone up. There isn't a spare dressing room in the place.
Ah, well, I've got to tell you, right, there's a lot more people coming.
What, but all the rugby guys are here.
Ah, yeah, well, these lot are not exactly, guys.
Huh, well, that's fine.
Right.
And you are? And you're Lewis? And you are? And I suppose you've come to watch the cycling, have you?
No, we've come to play rugby.
Sorry?
I think there are about 47 donuts here. One for every year Neil Buchanan's been alive. We won't do any more birthday jokes. There'll be no more sad old birthday jokes between the now and the end of the programme, because this is what's on with a Bugs Bunny cartoon, of course. We always have a Bugs Bunny cartoon on Motormouth. This week, no exception. At 9:40, it's Rabbit of Seville. At 9:50, yes! Brian Moore and Rory Underwood from the England Rugby Union team join Steve to talk about how they're performing at the moment. Samurai Pizza Cats this week is called Nuclear Potato. Part 1 is at 10, Part 2 comes later in the programme. And at 10:50, or 10 to 11 in old money, a film review with Chris Packham and Danny Minogue. That was a clip from The Rescuers Down Under. At 11:15, Gabby has been to LA to talk to none other than Michael J. Fox. Hear what he had to say at 11:15. And then at 11:25, Live music comes courtesy of our special musical guest this morning, who is Danny Minogue. So that's how we shape up between now and 11:30. But if you're a regular viewer to the programme, you will know that we are very big in Europe, especially if you've got a bike. We've had cycle ball from Germany, we had artistic cycling from Germany, and now, from Denmark, with his bike, will you welcome Ole Vessong! And his assistant Neil. Get off! Go on. And his shopping trolleys. Well, these are when Frank Sidebottom was in, but we'll discuss those in a moment. Ole, welcome to the programme. Did you have a safe trip over?
Ja, det kan du tro, jeg havde. Og hvad synes du om min cykel? Kunne du tænke dig at se nogle billeder af København?
Oh, smashing, yeah. Well, I think it's a really nice bike, and yes, I'd love to see some slides of Copenhagen. Can we see those now, please? They're the slides that Ole's brought over with him. Do you want to tell us about some of these, Ole?
Ja, det første, det er Nyhavn, og den anden, det er den lille havfrue, som er en stor turistattraktion.
Oh, I see. Right. So basically, it's that, you know, Copenhagen is a lovely, beautiful city, and the idea is that thanks to a scheme perfected by you, soon everybody will be able to ride around on bikes just like that.
Det er nemlig fuldstændig rigtigt.
Absolutely. So where do these shopping trolleys come in then?
Ja, det gør de nemlig ved, at man kommer 20 kroner i sådan en cykel her.
I see. So it's the same principle as when you go to the supermarket. You put your 2 kroner in the slot, take your bike off the rack, ride it around Copenhagen. Then when you finish, you put your bike back in the rack and you get your money back.
Det er fuldstændig rigtigt.
It seems like it's really really cheap way though to get a free bike, mate.
Ja, men der er alarm i cyklen, så når man cykler for langt, så bliver den taget.
Oh, I see. Right. So if I were to sort of stray outside the city limits by accident on the bike with a view to nicking it, that alarm would go off and then the police would know and I wouldn't be able to take the bike. Fine. What about lights?
Ja, der har vi jo solcellelyset som der, og der fungerer det jo helt fint på den måde.
How Danish. Solar panels on the back, you see, providing light at the front. And see, the problem with any cyclist is always that you get punctures. So how do we solve that one?
Jamen, det har vi ikke her, fordi der har vi faste dæk, ingen luft i, så det er helt fint.
Solid rubber tyres. See, no punctures because there aren't any valves. These are solid rubber tyres. Well, that's excellent. The best of luck with the scheme. I hope it works out really well for you, and thanks very much for coming in.
Okay, we just have to remember to say there's 3,000 of them, and could I have my money back, by the way?
Jeg tror, jeg lige tjent 20 kroner. Okay!
You'll have it anyway.
Thank you very much indeed. You see, you didn't know I could speak a little bit of Danish, could you? A little bit of Danish. Tucked in there.
Clever, you
completely free. Right, Steve. Letters now.
Right.
The order of the day is short, sharp, shocking.
Pinhead.
Exactly. On the theme of stamps.
Hey?
To stick them, just lick them.
Oh, that's from Paul Baton from Farnham in Surrey, GU10 1QZ, and he's a postal pinhead.
Well, we seem to be on a roll just at the moment, so let's have 2 in a row, Steve.
Right, I've got this one here from Alison Hemmings, not to be confused with a load of lemming.
You can't say that about our viewers. I'm sorry, Alison. Alison's pinhead is actually Elworth School is really cool.
Oh, I wonder where she goes to school. Elworth School, you fool. Hey, Andy, you're such a pinhead. And so is Georgina Fletcher. And she seems to know what's going on in Hollywood, because she says Tom Cruise wears big shoes. Tom Cruise is also extremely rich. He's a pinhead. Georgina, you're a pinhead. You're a pinhead. I'm a pinhead.
Steve,
We're pinhead.
Steve,
Pinhead together. Pinhead.
Calm down. Let me just mop your fevered brow. Chill, relax.
Oh, thanks, Andy. You're a real pal. But you're not mine, so get out of my way, because I'm going to do me fantastic alarming coat of many letters to my favourite tune, and that is Rocky!
OK, stand up, but slowly for the cameras, remember. First, on your right sleeve, if you'd be so kind, and show it to the nation, William Abson from Gwynedd has said, Steve,
What?
beware of the Steve, which
I just
is
got a bit carried away, Andy.
useful piece of elastoplast there, and that's on fabric the way we like to see them. On your left sleeve should be something like brainless Steve. How astute, Joanne Truman from Sunderland. You've obviously got him completely sussed. We'll send you a T-shirt as well. And then back on your right sleeve, Slouchettes. That's from Kay Connolly, who's in Hillingdon, which is brilliant. So if you'd like to send us a rag and tag,
nails, mate.
you know, just please remember.
Yeah, it's October, not September, so don't forget to put all your rags and tags on fabric, or I'll...
Steve, what is the matter?
I'm going to tell you, Andy.
Go on, then.
No. Tins of brains.
Tins of brains, yes. People have written in for some strange reason wanting to know if we could send them some. Peter, Tara and Terry Fura from Larkhill in Wiltshire writes, we would like a can of your brains, Steve, because our mum is always telling us we haven't got any. So we can send some cans of brains to them, if you're so kind. Yes. Send them too. Grant Moffat writes from Ashford in Kent. Good morning, Grant. Thanks for writing in. He says, I'd like a can of Steve's brains because I've just changed schools. Everybody else is on level 5, but I'm only on level 2.
Oh, she should be on level 1.
Sadly misguided, Grant, if you think Steve's brains are going to help you there, but never mind. We will send you a can of brains anyway for your trouble. And this is good. This is from Helen Bradbury, who's from Welsh Street, Chepstow in Gwent, and says, this is my madhouse. Is it mad enough to be a keeper of a can of brains?
Oh,
it certainly is. Helen, we'll... Ever felt like,
game, Andy.
ever felt like you were working with a 5-year-old? We will send you a can of brains. Now, are you going to tell me what's on your mind?
Well, yes and no, Andy. Yes, I'm going to tell you, and no, there's nothing on my mind. It's completely blank, mate.
That's sad.
That's life. All week, right, I've been trying to think of a way to make you look an idiot, and I've come up with nothing.
Nothing?
No.
No sad, obvious visual gag? No wigs with a football on it? Not even the good old faithful goggles gag?
I love that one, but no.
Blimey, you've got a problem, haven't you? But fear not, Steve, mate, friend, colleague, nay, sometimes even celebrity. I have the solution. I have the solution. You hold this,
Right.
and I will make a fool of myself.
Oh, thanks, Andy. What a complete fool.
The complete fool. Hang on.
Hey, Andy, that looks marvellous, that.
I'm ready.
Haven't you got a hat to go with it?
Ah, sadly, yes. Hang on a second.
Ah, go on then, boy. Hey, fantastic, that, isn't it? Hey, can you have an ice cream, then?
No, you can't, because the first feature this morning is about to start. It's a cowboy animation that you may have seen a couple of weeks ago on this morning's Motormouth. Now, watch this.
Yes, absolutely.
Thomas Reed sent this in. We did when we had the animation in with Neil a couple of weeks ago. Spin the gun, psham, and down it goes. That was the first one, but it's a double bill this morning, isn't it?
It is a double bill, because I've been... Hey, this letter here, it says, Dear Producer... It should actually say, Dear Andy, because you usually mess it up. I would just like to say how disappointed I was when I watched Motormouth on Saturday the 28th of September, because you were supposed to show my animation. I don't know why. I'm really upset, and I'm never going to watch it again unless you show it. So we better put it on then.
We better resolve that, hadn't we?
Yeah. So, whilst we're watching it, can I have an ice cream?
No, look, just if we're going to show this, the decent thing is to sit here and watch it. Get off me popcorn. Paul Moore's Motormouth car. A lot of time and effort went into this. Thank you, Paul, for sending in the pictures. We are rectifying it now by showing it. And there we are, you see. And those things take a lot of time and a lot of effort. Just look how many pictures Paul had to do just for that little sequence. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So thank you for taking all the time.
Hey.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate that.
They're all absolutely brilliant. If you reckon you can do pictures like this, and we can put them together for an animation, send them in to us here at Motormouth.
And the address, as ever, is Motormouth, P.O. Box 1, Maidstone, Kent, ME 14 500. We want to hear from you. Motormouth, P.O. Box 1, Maidstone, Kent, ME 14 500.
Hey, Andy, could you do us a favour?
With pleasure.
Well, you know the next bit that's coming up, like the cartoon or a break or something like that? Well, can you do it in your fantastic, brilliant DJ voice?
No, Steve, I can't do it for you.
Oh.
I can't even do it for the viewers at home.
Oh, no.
But I can do it for charity. Is Bugs all right? Not off.
What are you kids doing here? How'd you get in? Who let you in? Hey, what you doing?
What are you doing?
Don't give me any of your cheek. This is a green room, not a fan club. Don't move. Don't move.
Okay, we've got a men's rugby team, a women's rugby team, a kids' rugby team. All we need now for a complete family is a granny's rugby team.
I forgot to tell you, the grannies are arriving in 10 minutes on a coach from Cleethorpes.
What?
I'm only joking.
Oh, very funny, Millie. Give me a heart attack.
Sorry.
Come on, scrum.
Okay. I've moved the women's rugby team into Danny Minogue's dressing room.
That is outrageous. You can't do that.
No, just temporarily. They just need a minute to change, and she hasn't showed up yet.
Okay, that's fine. So we get the women into the lounge, we move the kids into here because this is now a locker room. Yes. And Danny's dressing room is free for when she arrives. Great. I'll get the kids on the move. Hop, 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 hop. Hi, kids. Okay, your dressing room is nearly ready, and it's just through there.
Juliet.
Yes?
Guess who's just arrived?
Can't guess, Max, who?
Danny.
Danny's here. How lovely. Get these kids into the props room now.
The props room?
Okay, what we need is some sporting precision.
Yes.
I'm going to get my team down from the dressing room and move them through to the lounge.
I'm going to get my team from the lounge and move it into props room.
Hey!
Come on, kids. Come on. Hop, 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 hop.
Don't touch anything. I'm warning you.
Okay, Danny, what Danny would really like, Max, is a cup of tea. I know she wouldn't. She would like to go to her dressing room, but I said you'd like to make her a cup of tea
Oh,
first.
yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, bye.
Cup of tea would be nice, wouldn't it, yeah?
Yeah, that would be fun.
Okay, protect the guy with the ball. Hop, 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 hop,
Hey,
hop,
Paul.
hop.
Paul, where are you going?
Lounge?
I don't think so.
Okay, have you guys ever played American football?
No. Hop, 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 hop. Kids, you've got to get these kids out of here, into the studio via that door now.
What?
Thank you.
Come on, kids.
Hop, 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 hop.
What's the problem?
Back in a minute.
Hike! And I faded back to my own
It's
25.
okay, Paul. You can go into the,
Lounge?
no props.
This way?
Okay. Miss Minogue, your dressing room. Okay, your dressing room's ready for you now, if you'd like to go.
Okay, do you bring your tea?
Okay. That'd be great. Lovely. See you later then, bye.
Yeah.
Okay, the women's team are in the props room.
Great.
Millie, Danny's here.
Hi, Danny.
Hi, Millie.
Pleased to meet you. Where's Juliet?
She's in the lounge.
Thanks very much.
Hey, we put you in number 1, which is just at the top of this.
Whoa!
Physiotherapy.
1, 2, 3.
Great, full recovery.
How are you feeling?
I feel great, but you know something? Oh, Max is a bit confused.
Oh, right. Now, what are you doing?
Max, are the other rugby players here yet?
The other... Oh, you mean the... Yes, they're in the props room, yeah. Come on, children. Oh. You don't children.
Oh, Terry, thanks for my tank. They look a lot happier in there.
I'll tell you what, Millie, they are a lot happier. Lots more space, lots of surface area. Incredible.
Yes, more space, enough room for an enchanted castle.
A what? Enchanted castle?
Yeah, well, you see, I bought them on earlier, but it wouldn't fit in a bowl, but it'll definitely fit in this tank. It's in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Will you go and get it for me, please?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll get rid of this junk as well.
All right, Terry.
Now, pay attention, Max. The objective was to free Danny's dressing room. Now, we couldn't do that until we got the women out of there. We moved them into the lounge. We couldn't do that until we got them into the kids. And...
I'll get the doorbell.
You know, Juliet, you can't keep fish in a tank like that.
Right.
I don't know.
Uncle Terry got you a nice big tank, didn't he? And you're having a lot more fun in there, aren't you, Moby and Toby?
One enchanted castle.
Thanks very much, Terry.
Bizarre.
There you go, boys. Now, I won't be a minute. Don't run away.
John Clare has just gone to get some... Juliet, what's the problem? Juliet!
Max,
What?
Terry Nutkins, animal expert and lover, has just killed Millie's fish.
Oh, no, was it an accident?
No, he did it on purpose.
Oh, now, don't be silly. Oh, mind.
He's getting stuck today. Is John Clare around?
Yeah, he's just gone out to his car to get some books left.
It's true, Max. He poured them down the sink. I saw it with my own eyes.
Did you have your glasses on at the time?
Oh, very funny.
Well, look, I shouldn't worry about the fish. Even if he did pour them down the sink, they're probably swimming along all the plumbing and they'll end up, I don't know, in the loo or
Oh,
somewhere.
I'm sure they will. Don't be ridiculous, Max.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It could happen, couldn't it?
Ridiculous thing to say.
Oh, by the way, there's a goldfish in the
Hi,
room.
Max.
Oh, hi again.
I don't know why, but I hate it when you're right, Max.
This week, I went to Twickenham to watch England absolutely slaughter the Italians in the Rugby World Cup. Is rugby a bruising, bone-crushing game for men? I don't think so. Follow this ball. This is Karen Allman. Oh, you don't need one of these, do you? This is Karen Allman. She is the captain of the Women's England rugby team. Is that not right?
That's right.
Has there been a Rugby World Cup for women?
There has, yes. We had our World Cup in April this year in Cardiff, and unfortunately England were beaten in the final by America.
Oh, well, we slaughtered them last night then, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We showed them the way. Now, you're here today to give us a sort of a rugby masterclass,
That's right, yes.
Right, well, let me just introduce this lot for you. These are Maidstone's rugby team, well, the boys' rugby team. They've come here today. Thanks for coming in today. What are you going to show them first?
These boys here are going to demonstrate the tackle, which is the same at any level of the game. The idea being that you get your opponents on the floor and then they've got to release the ball, which obviously gives you a chance to win it. So he's going to go in low with his shoulder. He's going to link his hands around the other boy's legs and pull them in towards him.
So the hardest bit of your body into the softest bit of theirs,
And the
I
idea
suppose.
being you can't run without your legs.
Well, you can't, no.
No.
Go on, then. Let's see it happen, shall we?
Good demonstration.
Lovely. Even in slow motion, it looks lovely. Thank you very much. Give me the ball. We'll have to follow it over here. If you come with me. Okay. This is Genevieve. Hello, Genevieve.
Hello.
What team do you play for?
Saracens women's rugby team.
And which town's that in?
It's in North London.
Right. Have most men's rugby teams got a women's team associated with them?
Yes, in fact, there are over 100 women's teams in the country now, and it's the fastest growing sport in Britain for women. And later on, we'll see Katie demonstrate over there, but we're trying to get girls involved as well.
Well, that's always useful, isn't it? Now, Genevieve, what are you going to show us today?
Well, this is the scrum. Obviously, it's just a chicken scratch scrum at the moment. Normally, it's a whole pack versus a whole pack. And this is another way of winning the ball and releasing it out to the backs.
Right. So usually you'd have two teams, and then you have to try and get your own ball back?
Yes, the hooker would get it back.
Right. Well, let's see that happen then, shall we?
Okay.
Right. Come on, lads. Oh, kicked it from here to nowhere. Right, thank you very much. Let's go over here, shall we? This is Laura. Hello, Laura.
Hello,
thank you for
Steve.
coming here this morning. Laura, what position do you play in the women's team?
I play fly half.
Right. And what are you going to teach us today?
We're going to have a look at passing today. Passing is a very important basic skill in
Right.
rugby, and anybody of any age should be able to pass properly before they play the game seriously.
What are the skills in passing?
The skills in passing really is to have a very good pair of hands, and you should hold the ball in such a way that one hand controls the direction and the other hand is really the powerful.
Right. I'm always told I've got lovely hands, but I don't know if they'll be any good for passing. Right, let's have a look, see what you're going to do, lads. We've got a little rose, the England rose over there, and what they're going to do is try and throw the ball through the hole in the middle. So let's see how you get on. Go on. Oh, we're getting close. Go on, Laura, you should be able to show them how it's done, shouldn't you? Go on, everybody have a go. We can get one through the middle.
Oh, there you go.
Ice creams all round. Sad.
Oh, nearly.
Right, oh, we got one through. Big round of applause there. Let's move on to the next one. Thank you very much, Laura. Over here to Debbie now. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning.
Now, I was at the game on Tuesday, and I think one of the most exciting moments for me is when the Italians ran halfway across the field, scored a try. Everybody cheered for them, but the person that did it is the winger, is that not right?
Yes.
I know you're a winger, aren't you,
Yep.
yourself? What's the important thing about... The thing about winging, what I noticed was that if the ball comes down, right, they pass it from one to the other, and just before it gets to you, somebody will probably kick it or tackle it out of the way. Is that not frustrating?
Well, in the women's game, we try to emphasise running with the ball, so we tend not to kick it away quite as much. Obviously, if we do, it's usually being called the winger's the best person then on the pitch to be chasing these balls. And obviously, if somebody gets tackled, that's hard luck, but it's up to you to get in there. You're probably going to be the nearest person.
So you're like the fastest on your feet, aren't you, in a sense?
Supposedly.
Right, well, we're going to see a bit of winging here, because we've got young Katie. She's the only girl in the men's team by the looks of things. She's come here today. You're going to score a try for us, aren't you? Right, and you're going to throw the ball to her. You're going to run down with the ball, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right, so if you want to go up to the end there, Katie, we should see this happen. Now, you have to need very fast feet for this. So you want to get going now. And he's going through, and she's going to dribble through the cones, and yeah! A perfect try, just like what I heard at Twickenham. Now, with us this morning, you might have known some earlier, we've got Rory Underwood and Brian Moore. Brian, what do you reckon to women's rugby?
I love it. I think it's a great sport, and I think that, you know, they show a massive amount of skill.
So do you think that the England women's rugby team is going to be as strong as the men's team one day?
Well, the way we're going at the moment, it might be, but I'm getting in a lot of trouble for that.
Oh, yeah, you'll get told off.
No, it's a completely different sport, really, because they've got the physical disadvantages.
Right.
But that means, in a sense, that it's perhaps more attractive to watch because they run the ball more.
Yeah, there's a lot of running going on. It's a very stop-start game.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. It's very complicated, and, you know, you need to know the rules really to enjoy it, I think.
Right. Rory, how are we doing this year in the World Cup?
We're there through the quarter-finals, which is the main thing. So from now on, it's the knockout. So every game's important.
Each game's very hard at this level, isn't it?
Oh, yes, very hard. And it seems to be, especially in the World Cup, we've had 3 home games at Twickenham.
Right.
But every team that comes there always wants to play well at Twickenham.
If you haven't seen much of the World Cup this year, we've got a bit of film showing you how England have been doing up to now. Each game is very hard, and it's a very tough sport.
All the way back to Rob Andrew. Goes for the drop goal, he's got it! Casper now, when he goes for the corner, pitches it back. Underwood must score, yes he does.
That was excellent now. I just watched a bit of Italy there. You were stuffed by the All Blacks. Unfortunately, that's probably put you back a bit, hasn't it? Now, for me, one of the most exciting things whilst being there was listening to 60,000 people sing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. It made the whole stadium reverberate with the sound. Now, we haven't got 60,000 here today, but we've got at least 25 or 30. I think everybody should know the tune, so I think we should sing along to it, all right? All right. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, let's take it away. Swing low, sweet lovely chariot, coming forth. Big men with such lovely voices. Now, Brian, you've got a competition for us to win all these fabulous rugby prizes, signed T-shirts, all that kind of stuff, plus the rules to the game. What's the questions to the competition? Go on, Rory.
Well, guys, who is the most capped England player?
Now, I wonder who that is.
And how many tries has he got?
Right, who's the most capped England player? How many tries has he got? You can win all these prizes. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you for coming in, lads. Good luck next week when you play France, yeah? You're going off to Jersey now, aren't you?
Yep.
Thank you to all the women's rugby team for coming in. Thank you very much. Rory, have you ever seen Samurai Pizza Cats?
I don't know, have you?
No. No? Well, sit here. We'll get you a cocktail. Rag Gemma cocktail. We're going to put it on now. Samurai pizza cat, nuclear potato. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. Sit back. You should enjoy this.
There's not enough room to swing a cat in here. I must get Paul to have a look at this.
Oh, hello, Gabby. Do you want to join me for a slice of milk and a slug and Stilton sandwich?
Not just now. I'm going to powder my nose.
Oh.
792.
Paul, the lock on the loo's a bit dicky.
I'll fix it in a minute. I've got to make sandwiches for all the teams. Help me. You're on crab meat.
Crab. Well, where's Millie and Juliet?
You haven't heard? Apparently, Brian Moore personally asked Millie and Juliet into the studio to see the rugby item.
Well, actually, what I heard was this, that he didn't ask Millie at all.
No.
He only asked Juliet, and Millie went in as a sort of gooseberry.
No.
What are you making there, a hand sandwich?
Oh, hi, Fungus.
Oh, hello.
Hey, what's wrong?
I'm really depressed.
Why?
Well, Gabby won't have a cup of tea with me, and neither will Millie or Juliet.
Well,
I mean, what's wrong with me?
Well, you stink.
Max,
sorry.
You're just not the image of classical beauty, that's all. But you've got a lot of things going for you. You're strong.
You're slimy.
You're silent.
And smelly.
The 4 S's, in fact. What could be nicer? Where did you see Gabby, anyway? Because she's on in a minute.
Well, she was going to powder the nose in her loo or something.
Oh, the loo. The loo! The lock!
Hello? Hello, I'm stuck. Hello? Hello, can anyone hear me?
Gabby, have you wiggled it? You've got to wiggle it.
I can't get out.
It's all right, Gabby. We'll have you out of there in a jiffy.
She's on in a minute. Don't let her get her knickers in a twist. I'll get Fungus.
Oh.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Fungus! Oh, Fungus, thanks. Put down those egg sandwiches. Look.
No.
Yeah, no, listen, because Gabby is stuck in the loo, and we need your help because it's a big job, so...
Did you say the loo?
Yeah.
Is it a smelly loo?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's smelly. It's absolutely Ogden,
Well,
yeah.
lead the way. Come on, why waste time?
Okay, come on.
So Brian, suppose you eat sort of 10 raw steaks and stuff before you do a match to keep up your strength, do you?
No, we have to eat fish and chicken and things like that
Oh,
now.
really? Oh, well, I'm afraid we haven't got any fish or chicken, but we have got some absolutely delicious sandwiches.
I'm not quite that hungry, I'm
Okay,
afraid.
right.
If you're happy and you know it, remain completely silent.
Oh,
okay, help us on its way.
Get me through. All right, Gabby. 1, 2, 3. Oh,
no.
Oh, I thought you were going to be smelly.
I thought you were going to be my knight in shining armour.
Oh.
Wow.
Gabby's knight in shining armour is getting dressed and polished here, ready for her, because the next part of Motormouth... Excuse me one second. Steve? Steve!
Whoa.
What are you doing? I'm trying to talk.
Oh, well, I'm listening to some brilliant rock music.
Oh, well, let's have a listen to it. Let's let everyone listen, eh? Pull it out. There you go. What's that?
That's the winner of the Poor Vision Song Contest. It belongs to Katie Weatherup, and the dog's called Jodie, and she'll be taking part in it tomorrow.
Oh, well done, Jodie. Very well done indeed. But you shouldn't listen to that sort of stuff, you know.
Why?
Well, it can affect you. It could actually turn you mad.
Oh, don't be silly.
Steve?
Yeah?
Fetch. Enough said. See you in a minute.
Welcome back to Motormouth. Now, next week in the shops, I Was There series of books will be out. And today we're going to have a look at knights in armour. You know we've already got a knight in the studio. We also have the author of the book, John Clare, and Mike Loades, who was the advisor on the book and is also my knight in shining armour for the morning. Now, John, recently we've seen knights in Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner. Is that when they first began?
So they began in France about 300 years earlier. But they were in a continual process of development, and it's only about 1500 that you get your knight in shining armour.
So they were around for about, what, 500, 600 years?
Yes.
What was the actual job of a knight, though?
Well, he was a killing machine, primarily. He was a mounted warrior. He arose out of the need of rulers to have a mounted force, and his primary job was to kill the enemy. Some of them were very barbarous and violent men.
Mike, is that why they were around, just to sort of be nasty, barbarous men?
Well, certainly they were professional soldiers and their job was fighting. But that wasn't the whole story. They didn't fight every day, and they found plenty of time for hunting and tournaments and their favourite pastimes. And, of course, they didn't always fight all year round. They tended to stop at the end of the summer and go home to their families and their estates, where they lived quite civilised and cultured lives.
And did they rescue damsels in distress?
On a good day, yes.
So they were chivalrous men?
Yeah, of course, they aspired to it.
Well, we've had a look at the knights. We've actually got a picture now of a castle with all the knights working on it there. Now, in fact, I know that is a model because there weren't photographers around in those days, were there? So if we can move over to the model and have a look at it. Right, if you can just talk us through now the front of the model over here.
Well, we needed a model because we need to be able to show the hoardings, which are wooden and have rotted. And it also allows us to show how the walls were made and how they were mining underneath the walls to try and bring it down.
Now, OK, tell me if you think I'm stupid, but this is a model, and that was a photograph, but you had real men in the photograph. How did you get them onto the model?
We used computers.
Surprise, surprise. Well, we've actually got a short film of how the book was put together, and if you could talk us through the process, please.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
There we are in the studio, and there's the photographer and the camera, and he's filming an archer, and that archer's going to go on one of the upper levels of the castle. So it's very important that he shoots at an angle as if he's shooting down to the people below.
Now, there's the castle being photographed. Now, what they do is they take it off, and they've got to put it into the computer. They do it on a machine called a scanner, and it whirs round at high speed. And it takes digitally the picture and hides it in the computer innards. And there you see it building up the picture into the computer.
So it's layer by layer by layer?
That's right, and those are all the pictures that they were going to use in building up this.
So that's background. There's the model, the castle.
Yeah. Now, you've got to get the scale of the archer to go in there. So he's just picking the archer out of that transparency, scaling him to size, putting him in that window.
Can you see how they're hiding his feet in the stonework so he doesn't look as though he's floating?
It's very intricate work, actually, isn't it?
And there he is.
There we go, wow. Actually, we can have a look again at the final picture that the model and that the photographs... I mean, it looks incredibly realistic. It's wonderful stuff. And there's some other photographs, because you actually photographed in the book in your armour yourself, weren't you?
Yeah.
We got a picture of you in your armour. Oh, which one is you?
Well, in that one, in fact, all of them. They're all me.
Computerised knights?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
I don't know. What's it coming to? Now, it must be very hot and difficult to move, and I know it's a bit clanky, so if you could walk round the back over here. Yeah. It is clanky.
It is clanky, and it is very heavy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it was made to measure, and it moves in all the right places. It bends at the right places. So the idea that when a knight's knocked onto the ground, he's like a tortoise on his back and can't get up is a lot of nonsense.
That's how the films show it, isn't it?
I know. Why don't we have an experiment?
OK.
Take that.
Right.
Hit me on the back as hard as you can, and see if you can knock me to the floor, and let's see if I can get up or not.
I've been waiting for this.
There you go.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
No problem. I'm all right. I'm wearing
armour.
armour.
I just broken my nail. Come on. I had to tell you. Right,
Why
time
don't you
for me
try
to
it
put
on?
this on.
Because
Right.
this is the other thing. Now you can see fine. But if you're advancing on the enemy, you need that down.
To protect my
because there's
face.
thousands of arrows coming in the air. Can you see ahead of you all right?
Yeah.
Can you see John or me?
No, actually, I can't.
So put it up again. Because if you're fighting at close quarters, it's quite better to have the open face so you can see the enemy when you're... So they tend to have the visor down when attacking from a distance, but when they got in close, they tend to lift it up so they can breathe, because it's very stuffy.
Very hot in there. If we go back over to John, there's one last question I wanted to ask. Why are there no more knights around anymore? Mike, join us.
Many, many reasons. They began to develop professional armies. They developed infantry formations that allowed you to stop a charge of knights with pikes. But the key thing was that it became an outdated technology. Gunpowder could go straight through a suit of armour like that.
Well, thank you very much for bringing it in and showing us that armour roll. Now, if you want to know more about knights in shining armour, you can always go along to Warwick Castle or the Tower of London or anywhere in between, or you could buy this book, or you could enter the Motormouth competition to win it. Now, if you'd like to win the book, we want you to answer this question. Knights would save in distress, a certain name for a lady in distress. I actually said it earlier on. If you want to enter the competition, send your answers in to Ye Book Competition, Motormouth, P.O. Box, Kent, Maidstone, Kent, ME14 5LL. Ye Book Competition, Motormouth, P.O. Box 1, Maidstone, Kent, ME14 5LL. You'd think I'd get the address right after 3 years. Gentlemen, thank you very much. As I said, get the books, they're out next week, or go along to a castle and see them in real life. It's great stuff.
I love history items.
I don't know, Max. Give me the rugby any day. Oh,
does any work in this building. I've got Juliet in there trying out for the England rugby team, and now you two in here pretending you're Maoris.
Well, calm down.
Yeah. Why don't you just relax and make me a cup of tea?
Why don't you just relax and make me a cup of tea?
Oh, all right.
I don't know, Max, jumping around in here like some kind of lunatic. Bye. Oh, bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
That was
Bye.
great.
See you.
Women rugby players.
Yes?
Yes.
Well, don't look at me like that. You couldn't do it.
It's ridiculous. Millie would make a great scrum half.
Don't be personal. Anyway, you need to play rugby. You need a shrewd mind. You need strategies. You need intelligence.
Why doesn't this come on?
And it's Nickel for the ball, and she's breaking through, and she's back for the line, and she's there.
Have you seen Juliet?
Oh, Juliet. She's in the props room.
The wrong kind of squeaking. Must be a bed. Oh, this is ridiculous. I hate those strange noises. You can't work out where they're coming from. It must be this. Just getting a bit of exercise, Mr. Moore. Hello there.
Hi, I hope you don't mind, but I've got you something.
Oh, have you? Oh, Mr. Moore. An England rugby shirt. It's for me.
It's for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's a 44. I hope it's the right
Oh,
size.
I'm sure it will be, yes. I'm any size. Thank you very much indeed. Okay. Bye-bye. Oh. Oh.
You look great, Danny.
Thank you.
Studio's just through here.
Thank you.
There you go. Have a good one. What?
Holy smoke!
Juliet, do something! Oh, you dozy kipper. Oh!
Sorry to interrupt this programme with a quick news flash. Gabby Roslin has been taken to a dressing room with another broken nail.
If I had any nails, I could probably break them. Earlier on, Steve was telling you about the Rugby Union competition, that we've got a whole load of stuff to give away. There's T-shirts, there's tracksuits, there's rugby balls, there's a pair of rugby boots, there's copies of the single.
Brilliant.
There's a whole load of stuff. So get your competition, or answers to the competition questions into the usual Motormouth address, which comes later. You did that last week for our Jason Donovan competition, and besieged with answers we were. Questions were, where in the world was the video for Too Many Broken Hearts film? Well, that was in Falls Creek, Australia, of course. And there's a pair of legs at the end of the video for every day. There they are. Who do they belong to? The delightful Miss Kylie Minogue, whose sister is on the programme today, of course. So well done if you got the answers right. You will win, or the runners-up will win, LPs and videos of the Greatest Hits LP and video. I can't speak today, and those four runners-up are Katie Venables. Well done, Katie. Well done, Jodie Woolston, Samantha Dunster, and Sarah Jeans from Runcorn in Cheshire. You will also get that. Runners-up prizes of Jason's very own smelly jogging shirt and the T-shirt from Between the Lines. That goes, or both of those go to Matthew Parkinson from Criggleston in Wakefield. But the lucky winner of these 4 tickets for Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat on the 22nd of October is you, Lucy Guy from Loughborough in Leicestershire. Well done. 4 tickets on the way to you. And I actually haven't seen it yet.
Good prize, good prize. Promise we won't wash these as well. Last week we were driving each other crazy with these musical books. Now, they're brilliant, they sing, they do everything, they almost dance at you. We had a competition, we said, can you please identify these 3 animals? And this one. And this one. Any ideas?
Well, that's at the competition. It's 3 frogs, isn't it?
That was very easy, wasn't it? 10,000 other people got it correct as well. We stuffed them all into a rather big sack and we pulled out 8. The first 8 that we pulled out were Joanne, Samantha and Rachel from Liverpool, James Carter from Forest Hill, Jane Russell from Sheffield, Danielle Wright from Enfield, Andrew McCormick from Birkenhead. Excuse me 1 second. S. Stubbington from Southampton, Dewey Jones from Abergele and Clwyd, and Danielle Quimby from Cheltenham. And the books are on their way to you. Steve, I'm awfully sorry, I'm going to have to take that off.
No,
because
Neil.
the books have got to be sent out.
No, they're educational, man.
Oh, you like all that, do you?
Yeah, I'm being educated.
Educated. So you're clever and all that, are you?
Oh, yeah, very clever,
All right,
yeah.
well, what's coming on next then, Steve?
Oh,
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a quick clue.
Yeah, give us a clue. Born free.
Sad. What a bimbo.
To Danny Minogue. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah.
You
Good,
fine? Happy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a bit
but-
early for me, but I'm hoping.
Well, hang on, what time is it? 22:11. Nah, it's not yet. Now, I read in an interview recently that you gave that you said you don't think about the future at all. Do you still live by that philosophy?
Well, not that I don't think about it at all, but I'd rather think about what I'm doing now. And then, you know, my concept is if I make the best of what I'm doing now, then that's going to create a good future for me.
But are you at the stage, well, obviously the album is out now, are you at the stage yet of thinking of the next album? You must be thinking that far ahead, surely.
Yeah, well, I mean, for the next album, I want to get really involved with the writing, so I've already started, like, sitting down, thinking of tunes and, like, humming it into tapes and writing down lyrics, so I think that's going to be a good start. Hopefully I'll be
Quite a
really
long, drawn-out
involved.
process, then, is it?
Yeah.
What about live concerts? Are you, because we haven't seen you yet, you know, like Hammersmith Odeon or around the country, and I know Kylie's touring at the moment. Are you going to do some live gigs? Can we see you performing?
I hope to. Unfortunately, I want to sort of wait until I have 2 albums out, because I want to have enough songs to put on a really good concert. I know that, you know, these days everybody, you know, expects something very big, so that'll be what it'll be.
And you do, I mean, the dance routines that you do are quite involved and complicated, so I suppose you'd have to get yourself fairly fit before you did a 2-hour live set or something like that. We've been giving Jason stuff away, we've been giving England Rugby Union stuff away, and we've got, you know, no exception, all this stuff Danny's brought in to give us away. We've got the album and the 12-inch single and the cassette and the CD and signed photos and everything, a whole package of stuff. So we need a competition question, please.
Okay. The person who remixed the song Baby Love, what is his middle name? It's Steve something Hurley.
Now, you might have to do a bit of research to find that one out, but it'll be well worth it. Steve something Hurley has remixed Baby Love. He actually had a hit a couple of years ago. I think it was called Jack Your Body. But check that out, OK? If you might have to do a bit of research. For now, thank you very much indeed. We will talk later in the film review, but if you want to wander over there and get yourself ready, while you're getting yourself set up, I will remind you that the address for Danny's competition is, as always, Motormouth, P.O. Box 1, Maidstone, Kent, ME14 5LL. Motormouth, P.O. Box 1, Maidstone, Kent, ME14 5LL. And just to remind you of the competition question once again, Steve Hurley has remixed the single Baby Love, which we are about to see now, performed live on Motormouth. She's over in the corner. She's ready. Danny Minogue.
That's a great number. It's been great having you on.
Oh, thank you.
Mike's armour. Oh, Mike's armour, yeah. Oh, don't worry, I'll see to it you get that. I'll bring it through to you in reception, OK?
Right. Thanks,
Come
lad.
this way.
OK.
What I want to know is what were you doing in the bed in the first place?
It's not important. There weren't any rugby players around at the time, were there?
No, why?
Nothing. I want to talk about it.
Depressed to me, Juliet.
Oh, ha ha, Millie, very funny.
Sort of as if you've been left up on the shelf.
Ha ha ha. Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Millie, I'm loath to admit it, but your resourcefulness has been much underestimated.
Thanks.
Where did you get those...
Did you hear that?
What? No.
It's my fish, they need feeding.
All right. I was just trying to ask where she got those nuts and bolts from.
What's that?
Hello? Could you put these? Stick them over here. We'll leave them down here. Hang on. Behave. Sit still. It's all right.
There we go. Lovely food for my
Millie.
boys. Yes?
Do you know where the armour is?
Now, Max, I don't want you to get too agitated about this, but, you see...
What?
The thing...
Millie, where is the armour?
Secondly, I'm going to kill Millie Bates. And firstly, how are we going to get this thing back in one piece?
Well, secondly, you don't really mean it. And firstly, I think I can do it.
Really?
I just need to be alone, OK?
OK.
Just keep a lookout.
OK.
Is it all right?
Oh, yes, fine, thanks.
Julia, where's the armour?
Armour, just getting it ready for you, Max. Oh! Ah! Oh!
Oh! Oh! Oh! Oh! Oh! Oh! Oh! Julia,
I'm having a good day, Max.
Julia, I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's OK, Max.
God, did you bump your head?
It really hurt my head, Max.
Oh, no.
It really did.
God, I'm really sorry about
It's
that.
OK.
Listen, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a nice massage later, a nice
Thanks,
shoulder
yeah.
massage.
Great.
You sure you're OK?
Yeah.
Oh, God, you poor thing. What do you think that crash was?
I think it might have been the armour.
Oh. Oh, sorry, Max. Some days you just can't hang on to a suit of armor. It fits! Oh.
Has there been an accident? What's happening?
Can I have your autograph, please, Miss Minogue?
Well, the post keeps rolling in. Oh, what's the matter? Inner tube give up?
Yeah, it's a slow puncture. You've got to immerse it in water to find it.
Yeah, those are the worst, aren't they?
Oh, no, it's so small.
Hi, Teddy.
Thanks for the videotape, it's great.
Fine.
Oh,
That
which
number,
way hands?
sorry, that number was fantastic.
Thank
well
you.
done, it's great. You're doing the film review now, yeah?
Okay, I better
Right.
go.
Yes,
I'll
about
see you
30
later.
seconds. See you, bye. Oh, blast.
You know, I think it's really great the way you guys are taking care of the environment as a personal responsibility. So
Yeah.
many people just, you know,
Yeah.
they talk about it, but they don't do anything about it themselves.
Paul, what are you doing?
What?
What are you doing? You can't do that.
Yeah, I'm just getting rid of the old envelopes, sorting out the mail, you know.
But it's
A
bad
tree
news.
died for this. A tree gave its life so that someone could post a letter and a bit of it flattened out.
Listen, what you've got to do is put recycle on that and throw them all in them and keep them,
Yeah,
right?
I never looked at it like that. Thanks,
Well,
guys.
I know you're a nice guy, Paul, but
Chris?
think
Yeah,
about
for
it.
the film review, mate. We're on in a second.
right, okay. Yeah, I'll see you then.
I'll come as well.
Bye.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
You know, Fungus, are absolutely right. I've got to do something about recycling, and I've got to do it now.
You're too right.
Hushed silence falls over Twickenham, and Nichols takes her preparation. And she steps back for the ball and to go for the conversion. And... Oh, hello, Mr. Moore. Hi. Hi, here. I'm sorry I'm still wearing your shirt. I'm rather enjoying it, so, but I'll take it off later.
No, it's all right. It's for you.
Right.
It's yours.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean I can keep it? Oh,
I'll just sign it to you, shall I?
yes. Oh, thank you very much. It's a bit like, yes. Oh, that's very interesting. Lovely.
Okay.
Right, thanks very much. Okay.
See you later.
See you, Brian, yes.
The last time I did a film review on this programme with Miss Minogue here, I actually completely lost my bottle and my words went, oh, gibber, blah, 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 and we were trying to review Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which then was like a massive film for weeks and weeks and weeks. We talked then briefly about what your favourite films were, but remind us again, would you like to go and see in the cinema?
I don't know what I like. I guess there's a lot of adventure movies out at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
That's great. And the good old comedy.
Absolutely. We've never spoken before on the telly. Well, not on this side, anyway. What do you spend your money on at the cinema, Chris?
Popcorn. No, I actually go to the cinema quite a lot. I'm dead keen on the cinema. I've seen a couple of films twice recently, which is really rare for me.
Really?
And they're really not the sort of films I'd like to admit to seeing twice. Terminator 2 and Predator 2.
Terminator 2 is excellent.
Mindless
I haven't
violence.
seen Predator 2, I'm
Mindless
afraid.
violence. But no, I do like a whole range of films. I like sort of great epics as well. Bertolucci, a great fan.
The first film we wanted to look at is, I suppose it's an epic. It's an animated epic. It's called The Rescuers Down Under, and it follows up the 1977 smash, The Rescuers. It's from Walt Disney and Warner Brothers. Top mouse agents again, Bernard and Miss Bianca are back in an adventure set in Australia, but confusion reigns at the beginning of the film when, as they get the news of their mission, poor Bernard is trying to pluck up courage to propose marriage to Bianca. Not quite the way it happened when Caroline proposed to me, but we shan't dwell on that. What do we think of The Rescuers Down Under?
I think this is top marks. I mean, everything's done to perfection. I guess they spend a lot of time making it.
About 3 years, I believe it took to make this film.
And I think it's the kind of movie that you grow up with and you continue to like, and my cousins are a great excuse to go along to see those kind of movies.
Are you like me? You take the young cousin and say you're taking them.
Yeah.
Are you an animation fan, Chris?
To some extent, really, but I've gone off Disney and all of that sort of stuff. And there were some really strange things in this cartoon because they've tried new ideas with the perspectives and a lot of things that go out of focus as if it's a real film and not an animation. And that crossover between an animation and a real film is a bit confusing.
Didn't like that?
No, and I didn't like that Alphonse guy either as well. I thought he was a bit of a wimp, really. I wouldn't want to be rescued by him, to be sure.
But mice are pretty resourceful creatures. Real mice, aren't they? They're quite resourceful creatures.
Yeah, they are. They're one of those things which can cope with mankind, basically, and you need to do that to
You have
survive.
to be pretty
these days.
resourceful to do that, yeah.
And
That's released on October the 18th and has a U certificate. But released yesterday was Rick Mayall's first starring role in a major motion picture. He stars in the title role of Drop Dead Fred. Drop Dead Fred is an imaginary friend of Elizabeth, played in the film by Phoebe Cates, who returns 20 years later to her adult life. He, however, hasn't grown up at all and makes the most of the fact that nobody but Elizabeth can see him. Not, as you will see in this clip, even Elizabeth's mother can see it. Almost cartoon in itself, Drop Dead Fred, Rick Mayall's new film. Are you a Rick Mayall fan, Chris? We'll start with you this time.
It's not my morning, is it? No, I'm not, no.
You're not?
No, I hated the young ones. Everybody came to college reciting it morning after morning. I got bored out of my mind. I didn't like it.
And his characters are very similar, aren't they?
Yeah,
The
they're always the
characters he
same.
plays
I mean,
with.
I take my hat off to Rick Mayall if I had a hat, because I think anybody who can make a profession out of being that obnoxious deserves to be credited, really.
Yeah, well, he's
It's
not
fabulous.
really, you know.
Well, I'm sure he is. I'm sure there's an
quite a nice guy.
underlying...
He said dropping the name of the stars all
nastiness.
over the place. But,
and the other thing is...
and be
Phoebe-
careful, because his kids watch this programme.
I do that.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Morning, Sid. Rosie.
Like, your dad's great. I love him.
Yeah.
The thing is that Phoebe Cates as well. I mean, how could it be 20 years before? She looks about 16 now.
That's the only thing I saw. Well, did you think that? When I first saw the film, I thought, she's not like 40-odd years old. She's about 9, and she's supposed to be playing an adult. Do you like Rick Mayall, and has the young ones sort of happened in Australia?
I love Rick Mayall. Actually, the young ones was very big in Australia. They had to repeat it, I think, 3 times. Right on. And I love the movie. I thought it was great. There was a lot of funny moments in it. But as you say, you have to be a fan.
If you're a fan of Rick Mayall, you like it. If you're not, maybe not. But you don't have to be a fan of birds to like this. This is a film you'll have to look very carefully for, though, because it's on general release at the moment, but it's not playing the massive cinemas. The small, local, independent cinemas is where you'll find Feathered Friends. It's a film from the RSPB, and it shows up what we may think as massively successful human achievements as pretty trivial when you compare them to those of our feathered friends. That's Feathered Friends from the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds. Did you enjoy that?
I thought it was quite funny. I thought that, you know, it showed each bird, the characters really came out in each one.
Yeah, but you're our resident ornithologist. I mean, you can probably tell us stories about how brilliantly talented animals are.
It's a bit trite trying to compare birds to human beings because we're all very different.
Yeah.
And
well, fundamentally, really.
Fundamentally, well, I haven't got any feathers.
Well,
not on.
Not today, anyway.
The thing is that it's an old idea as well, to be quite honest. But the commentary was quite witty. Jeffrey Boswell was probably one of the most erudite people I've ever met. So, good morning, Jeffrey. I love you.
You'll have to tell Steve Johnson what erudite means a little.
Oh well, I'm sorry. Right, OK. He's a very wise and witty chap.
Yes.
So I hope the film goes well. And of course, it is a bird film, and it's very educational.
Terrific.
So I'll give it.
That's on general release at the moment. Drop Dead Fred released yesterday with a 12 certificate, and Rescuers Down Under released on October the 18th with the U certificate. We'll see you later for more music. But for now, Chris and Danny, thank you very much indeed.
All right.
OK, it's been great having you on the show. Sorry you have to go before the end of it, but I know you've got an important match. Good luck for it. Bye.
Juliet, could you hold this just while I...
Oh, Max! My shirt! Mind my shirt! My shirt! My shirt!
My bike! My bike! My bike! My bike!
Steve. Paul, have you got all the weather stuff? Yeah, cheers, man. Thanks. Is that it? Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Oh, hi.
Ta-da! Dun 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 dun. Excuse me, Millie.
Oh, Juliet, I'd get something for that coffee if I were... Juliet?
Yes?
You've got a load of scroll on the back of your shirt.
I know.
You know?
And guess who put it there?
Bruce Forsyth.
Yeah. No, him.
Rugby.
He came up to me in the loo, right, and he went, come here. Ooh. Then he turned me round and signed my back. Oh, it was extraordinary.
Juliet, do you think if I got a T-shirt with Andy Crane on the front, then he'd sign my back?
It's worth a try.
Right.
Hey, I'm gonna do my own recycling with my envelope pulping prototype. Give it a field test. Great, working perfectly. Load the hopper up with envelopes, a bit of water, and I don't even use any fuel because it's all powered with leg power.
Paul, what do you think of my new shirt? It's absolutely...
Hey, how would you like to win a competition, right? Those prizes are fantastic computer, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Trips around the country, right? Up to £20,000 in prizes, and a weather satellite station.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant, eh?
Yeah.
Well, you can't because you're all too old.
I'm not.
You are.
I'm the youngest here.
But you can if you go to junior or primary school, because your teachers have been sent a fact pack about the ITV weather competition. It's fairly simple. All you've got to do is watch 6 weather programmes in November and guess what the temperature is going to be like on Christmas Day. Fairly simple, eh?
Oh, no, weather's so boring.
No, it's not. It's interesting. It's brilliant. It's weird. Let me tell you some facts about the weather, right? On the 9th of February, right, 1859, a shower of fish...
Fish?
Oh, no. A shower of fish. Oh, thank you. Fell on a village in Glamorgan, right?
Yeah.
And nobody knew where they came from, and it covered an area of about 3 tennis fields.
Everyone knows that fact.
We know that.
Yeah.
That's not news.
All right. Weather could be horribly unpredictable, can't it?
Steve.
Like, well, the Germans still try and guess the weather by using frogs.
Frogs.
Yeah.
Or toy dogs, but basically frogs. And if the frogs start croaking, they know the weather's going to change.
We knew that. It's obvious.
We know that.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Lightning.
That's not news.
You don't know about lightning, do you? Lightning can travel at 140,000 miles per second, and it takes 2.5 seconds to get from here to the moon.
Yes, we knew
What
that.
does it do when it gets there? Oh, it stops.
Yeah.
It comes back.
Right, if you know everything, right, tell me what the temperatures or the weather's going to be like on Christmas Day.
That's impossible. That's impossible because weather is so unpredictable.
Well, it's a bit foggy at the moment. Well, I can tell you it's going to snow.
Snow? What, on Christmas Day?
No, now.
Is that it?
Yes, it's wimpy, isn't it?
Steve, that is absolutely pathetic.
Well, how about a bit of a blizzard then? Happy birthday, Neil.
After the break, I'm going to go very wild. Welcome back to a festive Motormouth. Christmas comes early here on Motormouth. At least it came to me 5 minutes ago. I'll get him later. I really will. It's good to have Chris Packham on the show today. Chris, you've teamed up with an unglamorous partner now. When you were on the other team, you were with Terry, very glamorous man.
Yeah.
But this time, I'm afraid you've got Fungus the Bogeyman.
Yeah.
Now, what's going on? Is it a new series?
It is. It's called Go Wild.
Right.
And Fungus, yeah, he's not exactly Marlin or James Dean, is he, really?
He's not a bit,
He's a bit of an old slime ball, to be quite honest.
I'm not too sure I would prefer. He's got more hair than Terry. He's got more hair on the top
than Terry, yeah. He's better looking than Terry Nutkins, there's no doubt about that, anyway.
So tell me a little bit about the series, then. When's it on? What's it called?
It's a new series. It starts on Thursday
Yeah.
at 4:40. Don't miss it, because it's probably the first look, optimistic look at the environment. Everybody's sick of being told that the world's coming to an end, that there's acid rain, there's pollution here and everywhere. But this is a programme that also you can take part in. We really want people to send in videos, send in and tell us about their projects so that we can feature exactly how they are acting to do something about it. I'm sick of hearing people talking about it and not doing anything.
It's a smashing idea, that, because I know we get a lot of letters on Motormouth, and we're going to read some of them out next week. A lot of letters that people see animals and want to do something about it. Fungus, what part do you play in this?
Well, I'm just going to make the place as messy as possible, really.
Yeah,
and,
I'm sure you are.
Frighten the cleaning ladies away.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you will. We've got a quick taster. This is Chris's new series, and this is a bit that's got some kids involved. We'll talk about it in a minute. Have a look at this. Now, that's great to see the kids getting involved there, Chris.
Yeah, there's hundreds of them all over the country. That's the point of it. And the aim of Go Wild is to bring them into the open and let other kids see what they're doing, because basically what they're doing is very simple. They're not raising millions of pounds to sort out the ozone hole. They're cleaning up their own parks, or like that guy was cleaning up a local nature reserve, you know.
So it's in our own back garden,
It
really,
is,
isn't it?
it is.
Now, I know you're also involved with the junior branch of the Royal Society for Nature Conservation. What are you actually doing with them at the moment?
Well, that's the Watch Group.
Right.
And the latest thing that's come off is a thing called River Watch, which is a 3-year plan to look at the rivers in this country.
OK.
And the first pack, there'll be 3 packs. The first pack was released in September. It's sponsored by National Power, which is really, really good.
OK.
And it basically involves young people going out and taking water samples and looking at it. The thing about Watch is that all of their projects are fabulously thought through, and all of the information that they give people is absolutely excellent. The graphics are brilliant, and at the end, the most important thing is that all of their results are put together by scientists and the kids themselves and are presented, and it's valuable data. It's real data.
OK, well, what we'll do is I'll give you the Watch address in a minute. What have you got here?
Well, we've got a fabulous tank here, actually. There's some lovely species in here. This is the plastic cupfish, not seen since the Jurassic. And there is a sort of a can insect here, looking very bad. Now, what we've got here, basically, is a bit of a mess. And this is what we find in lots of ponds in this country. Don't drop your trash in the pond. Well, who wants to live in a plastic cup, do you?
I don't want to live... What's the future for something like this?
Well, this is going to last some time. Eventually it will rust away, I suppose, if it's steel. If it's aluminium, then it won't. It will eventually decay. I mean, in the short term, it will actually provide homes for things. Some litter is quite neat because small water insects can live in here, and litter out of water provides shelter for insects and things like that. But, of course, it's unpleasant to look at.
OK, well, there's not much in there at the moment. I'm going to leave you with that. You don't have to clear it up, don't worry.
Right, OK.
I'm going to get... Here
How
he
you
is.
doing, Neil?
He's drawn the long straw
He's
again,
here.
hasn't he? He's got the nice fresh water
I've got
here.
the best tank, yeah. I mean, that's all very well, all that rubbish in that tank, but this is the best one. And first thing you look at is the plant in there. That plant in here, this beautiful green plant, I'll bring it out, is called a water crowfoot, and it's one of 11 species of plant. And I tell you what, animals really survive when they're oxygenated, especially animals that live in the water.
So what critters
that's
would we
what
have
that
in there,
does. Well, Chris hasn't got any of that in that tank at all.
No,
Disaster,
nothing
isn't
at
it?
all. Well, what about
Nothing
the
at all.
creatures?
Well, the creatures in this one, it's going to be fairly difficult for us to see any because it's difficult to see small creatures and you know, in this type of water. It's
Well, we've
abundant
pulled
with
some
them.
out here, haven't we? So maybe we can...
Yeah, but there's a snail
We've
there.
got a snail, yeah. Now, we've got this special camera that we sometimes use here. This is the endoscope
The endoscope,
camera.
yeah, it does very well, actually. See?
That's brilliant. You can see the sucker underneath there. There it is, see
It's on
that?
the side of the tank, yeah.
See my dirty nail there as
All
well?
the algae there.
I'm
Yeah,
going to
see
pull
your
that out.
dirty nail.
So let's have a look at some of the ones we've got in here, then.
Right.
What have we got
down
then?
here, we have got... Let's get one here. That, you recognise that, don't you?
That's an old mate of ours,
Have you
isn't
got
it?
it?
Because we did...
How does that look?
Yeah.
Yes, we got it. Look at that.
We did the
That's-
woodlouse last year.
That's a hog louse.
Yeah.
That's a hog louse. And believe it or not, Neil, it cannot swim. And it actually lives on the bottom. And it eats sort of rotting leaves and so forth and so on. You
There's
know?
a fish going past. What's that
Tremendous.
fish there, over there?
That's a stickleback.
Yeah.
One of two species we've got in this country is the 3-spine stickleback and the 10-spine stickleback.
That's gorgeous. Now, I'll tell you an interesting fact about that. You probably know this anyway.
Yeah.
They haven't got any scales. They've got, like, bony plates down the side, but no scales at all. Very smooth fish.
Absolutely right. And over there, one of my old friends, a leech.
There he is, yeah. We've got him on the mark. There he is, yeah.
A leech. We've got a nice leech
now, they suck
there.
blood, don't they?
Well, they do suck blood, but these particular species do not suck human blood. There's only 2 species that actually suck human blood. But these have been known to sort of get onto ducks' feet and suck their blood.
Now, they've got suckers both ends.
Yeah, they've got suckers both ends. It's a sort of... they haven't got teeth as such. They suck away there, you know? Yeah. But it's brilliant, isn't it?
I'll tell you the interesting thing about that, I think. That's the head. The small end is the head.
That's right.
And what's the other... There's a fancy one
in there.
Isn't there?
Oh, dear, fancy. I mean, he is superb. That's a water scorpion.
Yeah.
And we can't see it now, but
That's
at
it,
the rear end, it actually breathes through that rear end there. You can see some tubes there, right?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Where it's rubbing its back legs. Yeah? It actually breathes through there. And he's got these very, very fine pincers as well. And he will hide in vegetation like that and then suddenly come out and eat its prey. And some of its prey may well be in here. And that's small water shrimps. Any small
You can
water
see them
shrimps
dodging around. I can't actually see any at the moment. But that's what we've got. Now, obviously, we've got to keep water this clean. What have you got over there, Fungus? It looks to me like you've got some muddy stuff.
Well, it's mucky, but it's silt and it's got good nutrients in it, so actually it's quite nice.
All right, well, look, obviously something's got to be done about our rivers and our streams. If you want to get involved, there's loads of surveys to do. Write to this address. Here's the address. It is Watch the Green, Witham Park, Waterside South, Lincoln, LN5 7JR. Thank you very much, Fungus. Chris, good luck with the series. Yeah, Terry, nice to see you. See you again next weekend, mate. Listen, tell you what, why don't we go and get a nice environmental-friendly cocktail over at the bar?
What a good idea.
Dry your hands, over we go.
What a good idea. OK.
Come on, Juliet, put your tops on.
Shan't.
Oh, but it's your favourite waistcoat.
I hate it.
You don't, you love it, it's your stripy one.
I hate stripes. Those kind.
Well, what kind of stripes do you like?
Rugby stripes.
OK, Whingy Knickers. I'll go and see if Paul's finished washing your rugby shirt.
Thanks, Millie. Oh, Millie.
Yes?
Please hurry up, because I don't want Brian, anybody, to see me in this embarrassing state.
OK.
Good vibrations. Hope this shirt comes out okay.
My bike! I'll kill whoever's done this to my bike.
Hold on, I thought we were looking for my ball.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Brian, your ball. Oh, Millie, have you seen Brian's ball?
No, but it's definitely not in the loo.
There's a girl who knows her own mind.
Paul, have you got Whingy Knickers rugby shirt?
Yes, just finished the cycle. Oh,
great.
What a relief.
No, it's definitely not in here, Brian, sorry. Oh, I know, it might be in the studio.
OK,
yeah, let's go.
And the back, you know, the signature's still on the back?
Signature? What signature? Oh, no, she's gonna kill me!
Don't eat the rugby shirt. It's OK, he's still here. We'll get him to sign it again. Come on.
Oh,
right, is that yours, mate?
It is, thank you.
Is that mystery solved? OK, reception.
He's gone, he's not here!
Don't eat the rugby shirt! It's all right, he's not in the lounge, he's not in the loo, he's not in the props room. He must have gone back up to his dressing room.
Millie, where's my shirt? I'm freezing!
It's been great having you on the show. And listen, good luck on Saturday.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, before I go, can I just say goodbye to Juliet?
Yeah, all right then. Well, in fact, she's always really busy on a Saturday, but I'll see if I can find her. Juliet?
I'm in the shower.
She's in the shower? Juliet? Juliet?
Hello.
Stop whinging. Oh, hello, Juliet. Mr. Moore is...
In the lounge.
Thank you.
Juliet?
I'm in the shower.
You're in the shower?
Oh.
Juliet?
Mr. Moore, thank goodness we found. We've been all over the place. Would you mind doing us a favour? Will you sign this rugby shirt for us?
Right. You don't know how much this means to us. It's great.
Oh, great. Marvellous.
Oh, brilliant. Fantastic.
Oh,
okay. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I've got to go, but please say goodbye to Juliet for me, will you?
We will. We'll give her all your love. Thank you. See you.
She won't be able to tell the difference.
Oh, we'll shake us like.
Juliet?
I want to be alone.
What's got into you today? Oh, dear.
Oh, thanks. Where's Juliet?
Where do you think she'd be during a live transmission? She's in the loo, hiding.
Juliet! What? We've got your rugby shirt for you.
About time.
Oh, no! Well, what's the problem? With love from Brian Moore to
Millie and Paul. I hate you.
How to make Gabby extremely happy and put a very big smile on her face. You tell her she's going to LA to interview Michael J. Fox, and they know I've been driving them mad. What else do? You get into a red convertible car and you have a pose with your shades on. That's just what I did. Michael J. Fox, tell me about the new film. Tell me all about it.
It's a film about a guy. It's called Dark Hollywood, and it's a film about a guy who's a young intern at an inner-city hospital on the East Coast. And he wants to be a plastic surgeon. He just basically wants to move to Beverly Hills, do, like, you know, breast implants, make a lot of money, and have a good life. And he's driving his Porsche out to California, and on the way he gets in an accident in this small town in South Carolina. It's his fault, so they give him what we call community service here. That's his sentence. He has to work in this small clinic, and he finds himself being a small-town doctor, which is not what he had in mind.
Did you have to learn anything about being a doctor for this role?
Yeah, I hung out at a hospital for a couple of days. What I mostly wanted to accomplish was not to become a doctor. In fact, I made a whole movie about research, about how silly I made a movie called The Hard Way about how silly it is when actors say, "I want to be this." I don't want to be a doctor. But you want to hang out and see little things like what they wear, how they handle the equipment, how they interact, you know, how they approach their work. When I first read the script, you know, he was so kind of loose with, you know, when he was in the emergency room and people were coming in, he was like joking and trying to pick up girls.
You know, if you tell me. Well, what made you choose this film?
Yeah, I don't know, a lot of different things. You know, after the last two films I did, you know, Chris Lloyd and James Woods got the girl, you know, and I thought it was my turn to a romantic comedy where I ended up with the girl.
When you switch off from the films and everything and you go home, what do you do?
You know, mostly I'm, you know, kind of do that house husband thing. I mean, I just look after my kid and, you know, hang out, horseback ride a little bit, read a lot of scripts, you know, hang out on the phone a lot. You know, trying to figure out what's next.
I'm going to stop you. I want to take you back to the house husband. Does that mean you do the cooking and the cleaning?
Do some cooking, sure. Yeah.
So what sort of things do you cook?
I do a little bit of cleaning. I'm not going to lie to you. You do not that my, you know, that's one of the perks of the job.
What sort of music do you listen to? What's your favourite musician?
I listen to a lot of stuff. I mean, I listen to I like Irish music a lot. Waterboys, Hothouse Flowers.
Oh, good taste.
Pogues. And then as far as American music goes, I like, you know, Petty and Springsteen. I just like, you know, kind of real music, honest, you know, two guitars, drums, and bass kind of stuff.
One thing that everybody has said that they want me to ask you, if you could go back in time, what era would you go back to and why?
I'd go back about 4 hours and have a better breakfast. I don't think about it too much. When you're as lucky as I've been and things are as good in your life as they are, for me, I wouldn't want to mess with it at all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Oh, did you see Gabby on bonnet at the beginning of that, doing all this, eh? My dad was watching that. I bet he would. Would you go back? Would you go back to see him?
Definitely. Oh, you've really made me blush again. Every week somebody makes me blush. Yes, I would. He was a really nice person. Great stuff. Anyway, next week you can also meet a very, very famous American heartthrob film star, Sean Astin. And I will be grilling him too, but we've got two winners that are going to be coming into the studio. There was a picture of Sean there. Two winners are going to be coming into the studio to grill him along with me. Now, the big winner from Big Magazine, because they also ran the competition, is Claire Wetton, and she's from Bristol. And the Motormouth winner is...
The Motormouth winner was Emma Hartup from Swindon. They had to answer they had to think of 3 original questions, didn't they? Well done, you. Good luck.
See you next week.
So Sean Astin is here, and I'd just like to say that I think actually he's too good looking, and I may have to ban him from the studio. Next week, Kim Appleby is here with the music. We've also got some cooking from the Crumbs Cooks, and if you're about as old as I am, you may remember a band called Slade. They have a new single out there here next week as well.
No one's as old as you are. We've also got news of a brand new cartoon series called Captain Z. It's about a hero that goes into your nightmares and sorts them out. And I'll be talking to a dream psychologist. What will she make us, Steve?
Ooh, I'm going to probably be beaten up by Hulk Hogan. We've got him on. And then I'm going to probably be driving in some flash-fast cars, my favourite. Wow.
And I'm going to be driven up and down a wall. I'm going to be doing some sort of rock climbing. And don't forget Sean Astin will be in the nails.
Oh, what's your nails, Gabby? Your nails.
Against France and the rest of the home countries in the Rugby World Cup, we'll leave you with Danny.
Michael J. Fox, it's 9:25, it's Motormouth.
Good morning. Welcome. Michael J. Fox endorses the programme. You're watching it, as are millions of people throughout the nation. It's live on your telly, Saturday morning, 9:25, and you're watching Motormouth. And because it was his birthday yesterday, Neil Buchanan has let me sit in his chair. Which is very kind of him, and he's bearing well for 47, I would have thought. Anyway, on with this. When knights of days of old, when knights were bold and chivalry was reigning, of a damsel in distress, if you wanted to find one, you could look no further than Miss Gabby Rosslyn.
Oh, and you are my knight in shining armour, Andy. Oh, now, if you wonder why Jeffrey is slowly rising up the seesaw, that's because Mike, the other end, is loading this with armour. Mike will, in fact, be putting on the armour. Good morning, Mike, and the helmet as well. And talking of hard hats, Steve Johnson?
I've got an hard head. Hey up, Neil, look. I'll tell you what we've got coming on, I tell you. We've got some of the England rugby team, so it's going to be a very exciting show. But I'm going to show you what it's like to do rugby, because I've been practising. So, Neil, hold that ball, won't you?
Yeah, I'll hold it.
You won't move it just because it's your birthday or anything. You won't do anything because it's your birthday, will you?
I promise you I won't move it.
All right. You won't, will you?
Look, just get on with it. We've got a programme to do. I promise you I will not move the ball.
Cheers, pal. Right.
Rugby's a tough game, Steve. A little later on Motormouth, I'll be talking to Chris Packham and Terry Nuckins for the first time together on children's ITV, and they're joined by Fungus